Hello everybody and welcome to the Game Warrior. My name is Jason and today we're going to do a review of Thunder Road Vendetta. So as I speak, it's Monday and there's 8 hours left in the campaign for the expansion and you can order this whole game again. So before I show you it at the table, let me tell you a little story. When I was a little kid, my brother, who's 15 years older than I am, invited me over to his house and I got to see a movie called The Road Warrior with Mel Gibson. It was the sequel to Mad Max and I absolutely loved it. Like, it blew my mind. And for many, many years as I grew up, it was my favorite movie of all time, Mad Max. And at some period of time, Mel Gibson was my favorite actor. I truly loved Road Warrior. So, where does that leave me now? Years later, here comes a game called Thunder Road Vendetta. And I am not a fan of racing games. They don't really do it for me. Everybody loves Heat that I know of, except for me. Heat's okay. It's cool mechanics. I like it, but it doesn't work for me. So at the end of last year, when this delivered from Kickstarter, it got put on a lot of people's top 10 lists. And I was like, And I looked at it when Restoration Games put it up on Kickstarter, and guess what? I passed. I just saw it and it just didn't look good to me. And I remember vividly watching the video and seeing how the track got extended and shortened and extended and shortened, and it was just like, not for me. So everyone tells me how great it is, and I'm at SaltCon a month ago, and I see it. It's up on the shelf, and I'm like, should I try it? And guess what? Brand new copy. The guy said, hey, it's new, it's unplayed. Sell it to you for real cheap. I pulled the trigger. And last night, Sunday, Jenny and I pulled it out and we played it. So we've played it 4 times. 2 times we played it against each other, and then we invited our friends, Crystal and Tom, who are in the picture at the head of this video, and we played it 2 more times. So, short of it is, what an experience. It's ridiculously fun. It's exciting. It's a great, great game. So let's go to the table and I'll show you how it plays, and then we'll come back and I'll dive into it some more. And by the way, I found in my closet downstairs 2 copies of Agricola. I don't even know if I want one. But anyways, okay, to the table. All right, everybody, welcome to the table. And I'm going to show you a little bit about how Thunder Road Vendetta plays. Now, this is not a teach, but it's going to show you quite a bit about it. So let's start. Everybody takes a team, and then this is the white team. And I'm going to show you the white team. You got your 4 dice. You got your chopper. Get to the chopper. That was not very good, was it? Not very good, Arnold. There's a large car. You can see that there, okay? There's a small car. See if you can see that. And a medium car. And so what you're going to do is you're going to roll dice, and the dice are going to show how many spaces your car can move. It's as simple as that. So you might assign that to the large dice, and then on the map, I'll show you the map over here in a second, you'll move on the map. It's as simple as that. You roll your dice, and then you assign them one by one. You'll do one at a time, then your enemy will go, then you'll go, then your enemy will go, and then you'll go. Just like that, back and forth. Now, to add a little spice to the game is you have these extra abilities. So put some choice into the game, and this part I really like, my friends. Well, I like the dice mechanic as well. It just works so simply, right? And it's fun. I mean, sometimes you get the 6s, so you're going to move 6. That's really good. The way to win is to get to the end first, so that's really important, and survive. Ha ha ha. But here are these extra abilities, and so let's take a look at them. Number 1 is the airstrike. So you call in the chopper, and the chopper shoots at your enemy, okay? 2 is the drift, which enables you, if you assign a dice over there, obviously it's a number 3 through 5, so it's got to be 3 through 5. It enables you to drift through a space that has an enemy in it. So you can go through it without causing a crash, or what they call a slam. All right? And then here's a repair. So
if you take 2 wounds, and I'll show you how the wounds work in a second, your car is inoperable and it turns around on the track. You turn it around and it just stops until you repair. The deal with the repair is that it takes a 6. So sometimes your car will be broken. You don't roll a 6 on your set. Like right there, see that? I did not roll a 6 on that turn, that whole turn. I would not be able to repair that. That would suck. But say I did have a 6 like this, then what I would do is say I'd go, okay, that's my medium car, so I'll put a 2 there. I'm going to move 2 spaces, and then I do the repair on my special ability. The special ability goes first. We repair it, and then each one can have 2 damage, and I'll show you what the damages look like. They're these tokens, and when you get hit, you can take 2 damage. If you take 2 damage, like I said, you flip over, you stop for a second. So there's some real tension in getting that 6, repairing, and then taking off. So it's real fun. But every time you do take these damage tokens that you can see over here, they're random, so you don't know what's going to happen. And so in this case, shrapnel fires off your car, and it can hurt someone next to you. Really cool. Dazed is that you just... you move one direction, a number of directions. So you're going all over the place. And there's different ones that are in there. And this is the base game, I remind you. And so let me talk about this in terms of the experience, right? So when you get hit and you have to take a damage, it's always random. And so that adds a piece of chaos to the game. And you're like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? This one is a skid. You skid backwards. That one says you skid backwards. You're like, oh, and if someone's there, guess what? Boom, chaos ensues. Because there's the slam rule. Anytime 2 cars occupy the same space. So say if I came up, I hit you, I damaged you, and then you skidded back according to the skid damage, right? What we'd do is we'd put you on top, right? And then we'd roll the damage and direction dice. So let me show you how this would work. This is kind of fun. You do like that. And so what that tells you is the top car, and since you were the one that moved first, you're on top. So you moved into this guy's space, so you go on top. The top car moves. You can see the little space there. It moves, that's you, and then it moves back that direction. So you would slam back. Just like that. And this can cause this huge chain of events, because say even you were there, right? Then you slammed onto your own car. Well, you got to do the slam again. So let's see what happens there. Okay, the bottom car goes back. Okay, so this time you can see that it's the bottom car. It's on the bottom of the dice as opposed to one that shows on the top. See, that's a top car. So in this one was the bottom, and then it moves back one. So that means the bottom car moves back, so it gets slammed. And now look, it just got put into, hold on, we'll get you, into what? A danger zone, which is a wreck. Okay, so there was a wreck there. You didn't know it. Now, boom, you're in the wreck. Literally, now you got to roll again because the wreck is another slam. Okay, the bottom car moves back. And so in this case, that means the slam goes that way and the chain reaction is finally done. I can't tell you how fun this gets. These chain reactions just start going all over the board and mayhem ensues, and it's so fun. So fun. Okay, I talked about some of these abilities here. So repair, we talked about repair. We talked about drift, which says I'm going to move through that space and not cause a slam. You can see that, right? I might say I'm going to move the middle guy 4 spaces. So I put a 4, and then I put a 3 to 5 on the drift. So I use a 5 to do it. Then I go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'd have to find out what the hell was that. And that one turns out to be blank. So that's a nice thing for me. Okay. And then the final one is nitro. Well, nitro lets you boost it. So if it was here and you had a 1, 2, or a 3, you'd move 1, 2, or 3 extra spaces. Now, obviously, there's some board spaces that make it fun, right? I'll just show you a couple of them. See these spaces here with the double yellow lines around them? Same as these mountains over here. If you hit into those, boom, you are eliminated. It's over. And that's where I've had some of the greatest fiery crashes. You know, you're coming here, you're bone, you roll. Someone like that one says the bottom car moves forward. Say the 1. So say you would roll these 2 because there's a slam. The bottom car moves forward 1, boom, into the wall. Okay, you can get the stupid childlike fun of it. Oh my gosh, it's fun. And this is just a base game, so there's a lot more coming. in the expansions and so forth and so on. And so you just race along the way and you're knocking into each other, you're shooting each other. Sometimes you can call, oh, there's one more, I forgot. Oh, I know, I told you, it calls in the airstrike. And then you come in and you take a shot. You use the shot dice, right? And say that guy comes there and there's the large, the orange guy's large. So you take a shot and the dice tells me I hit a medium and a small. So I miss, so nothing happens. Stuff like that. And again, it's these chain reactions, right? And then if you're playing with 4 people, and it is funner with more people. This is one game. It was fun with me and Jenny. It was better with me, Jenny, Tom, Crystal, because it was more crowded and more chaos. And so, so when you get to the end of the board, let me show you that. That's a little fun piece, right? What happens, and I'm going to kind of zoom out here for this. It means that the end board over here on the left, you can see my hand, goes away. Okay, you move it. And any cars that were on it, boom, they're dead. Eliminated, as they call it. Then you move it over here. And my desk is not flat, perfectly flat, so I'm not getting the seamless thing I want here. And then you would pull randomly another board. Stick with me, folks. Stick with me, like that one. And you'd put it in there. And both of these boards are double-sided. And there's different rules for how far the game goes. Okay? So if it's 3 or 4 players, it plays until one of the 4 players has been eliminated. And then the next piece is the end, and you put the end, and the first person to the end wins. So you can lose 2 of your cars and still win the game. In fact, it's happened. You're gonna lose cars, and it's fun to lose cars. That's the crazy thing I'm talking about. This is an exciting game. It just is exciting. So that's just how it plays. You start over at the left side, point over there, you know, maybe on the first turn, you do something like this. You roll your dice. I drop 2, I'm not gonna pick them up right now. So I say maybe a large one goes through 5, and I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? I thread the board there, right? Because I don't want to hit these and I don't want to hit that. Now I'm going to have to hit that on my next turn. And you just move through, and then the white guys come, and then the green guys and the blue guys and all the different colors. And it's just that simple. But what happens is that you've got the hazards that throw chaos in it. You got the damage that throws chaos. You got your helicopter. You've got a road die that if you happen to stay on the road, you get a little bonus speed. You've got this, they have a name for it, but this dice is the number of spaces you may move left or right, sometimes when you skid. And it's a simple system, but when you put it together, it's like my jambalaya, right? It's just rice and chicken and sausage, but it just comes together into a taste that just gives you so much emotion. You're like, I'm having an emotional experience eating your jambalaya, Jason. You're gonna have an emotional experience playing Thunder Road Vendetta. So that is how it plays. Let's go back to the desk, and I will tell you my final thoughts.
All right, everybody. So, Thunder Road Vendetta. So this is a game of moments. This is a game of moments. You're sitting there, and you move your dice. You know, you get your dice, you assign it to your small car, your medium car, your large car, and you move. And that mechanic, there's a couple times when I just move and I'm like, where's the excitement? Like I felt it because the peaks are so high. And then boom, something happens and you skid and it turns into this. You jump on that, you roll the dice, and there's just so many fun cinematic moments. And it's one of those games, it's a gotcha game, right? And you want to screw over your friends here. And it's a game that lets you do it because in your mind, you're just seeing all the explosions in Road Warrior and Fury Road. You're just seeing it, right? And like a great example is Crystal came up and slammed someone yesterday. And so her car went on top and she rolled the dice and her car went forward and into a wall and just exploded. And it was just like, we just all saw it. Like she's coming up, someone swerves out of the way and oh no, boom! And it was just great. And then I was going along and someone came up behind me with a helicopter and shot, and it was just like, boom, boom. And then I swerved left, and then boom, into the wall, boom, dead. And you can just picture the fiery thing. It's all, So the ladies yesterday, Crystal and Jenny, I mean, they were just blaming us of being boys. Like, is this is this such a boys' game? I mean, cars, room, 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 just explosions. It's just. Crystal asked Tom. She goes, "Did you play with kids as cars as a kid?" And he just looked at her like every boy did, and so it's just such a delight. It's just so fun. These cinematic moments of explosions and your car dies, and um, now, for what it's worth, I'm just sharing you my experience, right? It was just fun. And I will say this, the girls loved it too. Um, they loved it. They had fun. They were just, and when you shoot someone and, it's like, I always tried to take care of the lead car, right? And then a couple times it was Jenny and she's all like, "What are you doing to me?" I'm like, "You're in the lead. I'm gonna shoot you with my chopper." And maybe I miss and I'm lucky, right? So that she's not mad at me. And then I hit her and she turns into a ball of flame. I'm like, oh, it, I hope you can feel the delight of the game. It's a racing-ish game where you blow people up and then you win. I won 3 of the 4. And so, and every time I won, I was ecstatic, like that kind of experience. I can see why it's so fun and why people are liking it. Um, I told you before, Heat was not just really the kind of game for me. It just wasn't. I liked it, but I don't like racing games that much, I guess. This thing, it's ridiculous. And so, literally, after 4 plays, I went online, and like I said, there's about 8 hours left in the Kickstarter. But last night, I went in and I got the expansion, and I will, once in the Pledge Manager, I'm going to go back and get all the old stuff. It's just too fun. And I don't know, I think it's something you would play with your kids a lot. They would like. We were adults, all in our 50s, loving it. It's not an Ark Nova. It's not Brass Birmingham. It's not Gloomhaven. It's not Oathsworn. But sometimes games, a lot of the times, I think I've told you this, a lot of the times I say that those games aren't even fun because that's not why I play them. I don't play them to laugh. I play them to gear up and go, this is it. We're going. Like, I'm going to stand Mosaic. We stand for 4 hours around the table. Think, head burning. I love it. It's a challenge. This isn't that. This is just pure, goofy fun. Laughing, cheering. I don't know. Who created it? It's great. I know it's Restoration Games, renovation of an older game. They did it perfect. You literally play with cars. You smash each other up. Give it a try. If this energy is vibrating with you, if you're going, okay, I want to give that a try, like that feels like, or you're just listening going, that just sounds terrible, then your answer of whether to try this game or not. It is on Amazon right now. It's March 18th, by the way, and it's on Amazon for $58, right? So this is the same version. Now, I saw a couple of reviews. I don't know if you've been, watching other reviews as well, and people are saying, I remember Tom Vassell saying this, is like, oh yeah, the base game's great, but it's 10 times better with all the expansions. I don't have the expansions, but after 4 games, I'm like, I want more. I want more. I want more expansions. I want more tracks. I want more cars. I want more stuff. I already want more in an exciting way. So I can see why maybe people said that. And I haven't even played with those yet. It's just so silly fun. I think if you're an older group and you play the serious games all the time and you want to break out and just have some fun, this is a great game. We're definitely going to play this again. We're going to play this with younger kids. We're going to play it with olders once in a while. It's just going to be a fun game to pull. I don't want to burn out on it, so I'm not going to play it again for a while. And then it says, I think September or October maybe of this year, they are the reprint and the expansion to come. So that's pretty quick. So hopefully I'll be able to get all this expansion by the end of the year, and maybe it'll be in my top 50 or 30 games of the year. Who knows? I mean, it's so much fun. I can see why everyone loves it. So that's what I got to say. I can feel that I'm repeating myself here, but it's something I do when I get really excited about a game. So there you go. Thunder Road Vendetta. If it's something you already played and have some comments, I would love you to share them. I invite you to do that. If it's something you hate, I'd love to hear that. And if something you're interested in, I'd love to hear that. And Until next time, this has been Jason from The Game Warrior playing Thunder Road Vendetta. And I love this line: the road is paved with bad intentions.